Welcome aboard Finnair's Airbus A330. This May 2019 flight was originally scheduled to be on board an Airbus A320 but was changed to the Airbus A330, and I couldn't be happier because the business class product on the A330 is far superior to what you'll find on Airbus A320s with Finnair. Now, the Finnair A330's business class cabin is laid out in a 2-2-2 configuration or a 1-2-1 configuration. It depends on which seat you get in the cabin. The single seats by the windows are called the throne seats, and it's because they're a little bit like sitting on a throne, I suppose. Very large, very spacious, and you feel very, very special. And there's lots of things to occupy yourself with when you first board the aircraft and familiarizing yourself with the seat. Firstly, there's the buttons that release a tray table. Then there's also controls to operate the seat. Each passenger gets a pair of headphones, and you can see here that there's also power and USB ports as well for charging your devices. There's a huge amount of space on either side of the seat. You get a comfortable pillow. There's also a blanket which you can request if you feel like having a sleep. A safety on board pocket card there, and another big space to your right where you have more storage and places to place personal items. So this is great if you're wanting to work and eat whilst on the flight. There's a huge amount of legroom in the seat and a clear but relatively small television screen. Now, the screen is too far away to touch when you're wanting to change channels or scroll through menus, so there is a handheld device which is right next to your seat. And you can see here there is a touch screen, but it is far away, so it is good to have that extra comfort of being able to use the handheld device. As I mentioned, the screen is very clear, but it is smaller than what you'd find in new generation business class seats. This is a previous generation product that's still found on the A330s.
Aircraft loading is still in progress, will take 10 more minutes, then we are fully ready. Flight time 2 hours 35 minutes. At the moment we estimate it to arrive just like scheduled 10 past 5 p.m. local time. Once we get airborne, I'll give latest estimate for arrival time and some information concerning destination area weather. I wish you all pleasant staying on board.
Cabin crew, take your door positions. Cabin crew, arm your doors and cross-check.
So I just checked out how the tray table operated. It's got lots of different angles and directions it can be moved in. It can be folded up. It can also be folded out, so it's nice and wide. It's very stable, and it can be pushed into the side there, so it makes it nice and easy to get in and out of your seat and fold it away. In fact, it's quite useful for using a laptop on. Nice and stable, nice and firm, and allows you to get some work done. The crew also brought out warm towels before we were served our drinks, and I went for a beer and some pretzels. For my main course, I went for the beef option, which also came with a side salad and a warm roll, and also a chocolate cake for dessert. You can also see that the cup and the covers of the cutlery there has the Marimekko design, which Finnair is well known for, and it's also used on the comfort packs when you're doing long haul flights and on the pillows as well. Now, the food was tasty. The beef certainly was tastier than it looked. Presentation maybe lacking a little bit on the beef dish there, but the rest of it was fine. And the crew were the standout here. They were extremely attentive, and there was one crew person on each side of the business class cabin who was dedicated to that area of the plane, and they did look after us really well. Now, as this is a long haul product, the chairs do convert into fully flat beds. This is what it looks like when it's in bed mode. It's a bit firm. It's a bit firmer than the beds that are used on the Airbus A350, for example, but being in that horizontal configuration where you're not sleeping on an angle is actually quite nice. It's got quite a lot of leg room and is pretty comfortable.
We will shortly land. Please make.
So it didn't feel like long until we were making our descent into London, and whilst I had been travelling for about 24 hours by this stage, having come across from Australia, it didn't feel like it, and this really was a nice way to end that journey by getting the chance to fly on the Airbus A330 with Finnair. The throne chairs are really quite special, and if you have an opportunity to select one of those, particularly if you're travelling by yourself, I would highly recommend it. It is also a great step up from the regional business class that usually operates into Europe flights on this route to London. In terms of Finnair itself, it's fast become one of my favourite carriers. I've been travelling with them more and more on flights to the United Kingdom, and I really do enjoy the services offered by the crew, and the onboard atmosphere is really nice. The interior cabin is a little bit more minimalistic than you might be used to on some other carriers, but it has a nice fresh feel about it. It's modern, it's calming, and with the little pops of colour in the pillow, the blankets, the amenities kit, that adds a little bit of extra dimension to the space. So as for the seat on this short journey, it was definitely 10 out of 10. I think if I was traveling long haul, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, so you might want to put an extra blanket down because it was quite hard, but the fact that it runs in a forward-facing direction with no need to bend your knees when you're lying fully flat, that's a definite plus. The crew were absolutely fantastic, and the customer service manager who looked after my side of the business class cabin, he was a standout. He personalised the experience, took time to talk to you, and even gave a personalised farewell at the end of the flight. The route itself, very nice, smooth. We didn't have any major problems with turbulence, and we arrived and departed on time. The food was tasty, presentation maybe on the main course lacking a little bit, but otherwise I would give it a full thumbs up. And the overall experience on Finnair was definitely something that I would return to, having had this flight. And given that Finnair is offering good prices on long haul services from Australia with a Cathay Pacific code share, it's definitely something that I will return to. So now I'll just leave you with the sights of the landing into London Heathrow, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video.
Welcome to London Heathrow. Please remain seated and keep your safety belt fastened until the safety belt sign has been switched. Välkomna till London Heathrow. Vänligen sitt kvar på era platser med säkerhetsbältet fastspänt. Skylten för säkerhetsbältet har släckts.
Thanks so much for joining me on this journey on Finnair's Airbus A330. It's been great to have you along for the flight. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends who might also find this video interesting. If you've got anything you'd like to say, any advice you'd like to give for future videos, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. And as always, I really do appreciate your time watching the video, and until next time, I hope to see you on board.